Kia ora, everybody. My name is Tuariki Delamere. I am the former Minister of Immigration and currently Licensed Immigration Advisor and Managing Director of TDA Immigration. Today it is Saturday afternoon, and like many of you, you may be waiting for race 5 of the America's Cup. Before that takes place, I want to share some thoughts with you about being interviewed by Immigration New Zealand if you are a Skilled Migrant Category resident visa applicant. Now, if your case officer wishes to interview you, you the applicant, you have no choice. That's required. However, you do not have to be interviewed then and there on the spot when they phone you up or turn up at your workplace, okay? You have the right to have your representative present, your lawyer, your advisor, if you have one. My advice is, if you don't have one, you better get one quickly, because all of a sudden, here you are looking at your telephone. Oh my God, my life's in that telephone at the moment. Don't ever let yourself be interviewed then and there. Immigration officer may try to tell you, it'll only take a couple of minutes, just a few questions. It's never a few minutes. It's never a couple of questions. It is usually 45 to 75 minutes. And it can be quite intimidating for you, especially as it's been probably over 12 months since you've actually thought about your job description. I'm sure you probably haven't read it in over 12 months, and you'll be panicking. The only thing you have to remember is, officer, very happy to be interviewed. However, please call my advisor. If it's me, please call Mr. Delamere and make arrangements for a mutually suitable time. And they have no choice. That's what they've got to do. So don't fall for the pressure that might be brought on you by an officer trying to demand that you have to be interviewed then and there. You don't. Now, your employer, different case, different kettle of fish. The employer does not have to be interviewed. They can't make him or her. Your employer is not an applicant for a visa. But it would be pretty unhelpful if the employer told the immigration officer to go jump in the lake. I'm not going to talk to you. No, we don't want the employer to say that. What we want the employer to say is, look, very happy to answer any questions. Please put them in writing. And these days, they generally do. Immigration officers generally now do not turn up at your workplace, and they don't usually phone the employer, but they can do, okay? So you need to make sure your employer knows what to do. The most dangerous employer is the one who knows everything, and he's gonna, or she's gonna push it through for you. They invariably mess it up and dig a big hole for you. So work with the employer, let them know what's going on, and convince them to say, put it in writing, send me an email, okay? Now, the very other critical point is you must record your interview. If it's on the phone, tell the officer, I'm recording this interview, officer. If they come face to face, either at your workplace or you've gone to Immigration New Zealand, record it with video. You're allowed to. Don't allow the officer to say you can't. They do that occasionally, but they can't do that. I had a case where we were at the immigration office in Henderson, and the immigration officer told me I was not allowed to record the interview. Oh. Look, we need to suspend this interview for about 5-10 minutes, officer. Oh, what for? Because, see, you know I'm the former minister. I'm going to call my successor, the current minister, and ask him when he changed the law. What do you mean? Well, as far as I knew yesterday, it was lawful for me to record. You're telling me I can't. So he must have changed the law. I'm going to get it clarified. Oh, we get to record it, okay? Now, always be polite, always be respectful, but remember this, the case officer is not your friend. When you get your residence visa, you want to be friends with the case officer, well and good. but they're not your friend. And these days, they seem more intent in trying to find ways to decline you. And being interviewed is difficult, especially in certain occupations, because they generally ask you questions about your tasks. You know, the one I like quoting, which is really difficult, you're on the phone and they ask you, how do you go about implementing and formulating marketing policy, pricing policy, and purchasing policy? If you're like me, I got stuck on the word formulating, didn't hear the rest of it. It's a grossly unfair question, but it is a task. I think it's the third task for a retail manager, but it's actually 6 questions. How do you go about implementing marketing policy, purchasing policy, pricing policy? There's 3 questions right there. Then how do you go about formulating that policy? Another 3 questions. That's why you don't want to try and answer these things on the phone, because when they ask you that, just about every person who hears that question, that third task for retail manager, they don't hear it. And all of a sudden the case officer writes down, this person doesn't understand English. So don't ever answer questions on the phone first up. Get your advisor to delay it while you meet with your advisor, with me or any one of my staff if you happen to be contracted with us. And we'll go through and do what we can to assist you. It's not about lying. We won't help you lie, but we'll help get your mind focused on what you actually do. So anyway, I think I'll wander down to the viaduct and see how Peter Burling's going. He's from Tauranga Boys College, you know, my old school. So's Sam Kane, All Black captain. So's Kane Williamson, the Black Caps captain, you know, and me. Anyway, take care, everybody. Be safe. Social distance still, even though we're on level 1. Kia ora.